surprising amount of traffic around Tilly. Es reicht jetzt, kleiner. So yeah, we're in Manildra, which is where we're going to stay the night. The pub's back that way. Stay there the night. This guy is probably doing 20 kilometers an hour. It's notchy, that shift between first and second. This is the Manildra, the home of the Manildra group. Oh, come on. Grain and flour mob. It's just the speed it doesn't want to be ridden at. See, all the cockies are here. That's a massive mill set up there. So we're heading towards Orange. From here we'll go down the road about 10 or 15 k's. Then there's a turn to the left onto the Escort Way. I don't know what this particular road's called. Probably just something like Orange Road, Parks Orange Road or something. So yeah, we'll stop over there tonight. They're going to have a barbie for us. There's about 11 or 12 of us, and we'll have a few beers. Tilly, have a few beers, won't you, darling? Hey? Yeah, she said I don't mind a bit of a neck oil. So it's drizzled, or that really fine misty rain most of the way from Parks to here, but here it's stopped raining for the moment, so that's nice. So, as said earlier, first time I've actually had a bit of cold weather on the bike for ages, since I moved down here. I'm not freezing or anything, it's not like that, not like riding up in the New England. but it's cooler weather, you know, and wet. The road's basically been wet all the way from home. I've mentioned this before. The reason we're on this ride today is that it's the annual ride for Rossko, a mate of ours with K-Bike fraternity, who he got cancer and died. It's actually 10 years this year for this ride, so he's been gone at least 10 years now. He was one of the younger members back in the day, you know, when we sort of first got going. I first met him on the ride to Bingara that we all went on. That was actually the first major ride I went on too. First major ride a lot of us went on. I think it was the second meetup. The first one's at Urunga. I wasn't part of the group then. Yeah, Rossko was... He wasn't 50, I don't think, when he died. A bit like my mate Alex. And he had a bit of a thing for K-bikes. He also had a bit of a thing for Suzuki Katanas, which I think I've mentioned recently. Nice to be in a bit of open countryside and get the speed up a bit again after dodging skippies all the way into town. So I think I saw 4 altogether, 3 on the road into Parks, another one not far out of Parks on this side. So I've done a few things with the BM, little things, you know, that I've been meaning to do for ages, and I've done like well, I thought I'd straighten up this mounting, but it's still sagging a little bit. But it's better than it was, I think. Finally put a new, better mirror on this right hand side. That makes life a lot easier. If you're riding on the left, you know. Fix that electrical problem, it seems. Yeah, you know, so just to make this trip a little bit more enjoyable. Nice, the road's right here too. I was thinking there's a surprising amount of traffic for a Sunday morning. But I guess, you know, the weekends are when people do the whole, you know, driving from town to town to play footy or some sort of sport. Tilly's got a lot to say for herself. Whenever I think of that, I think of James, because he comments on it as well. James Allman. How you going, James? If you're watching this, when I get it on the thing, you should be just about back on the road again, I think. If not, it can't be too long. I wish you all the best with that. So we'll meet up with blokes from the K-Bike forum thing. Oh, mate. Kilometres to Orange, but we won't go into Orange. There's a bit of a bypass, which is good. This is a bit of a pain in the arse, Orange. It's old-fashioned country town where the highway went up and down the main street sort of thing. It's also a cold place, Orange. It's not quite as cold as Gyra. Doesn't snow quite as much, but it's the coldest place around here, you know, around the Central West, if you can call it the Central West. No long. So yeah, we got up the top of the hill. Rossko was a big fan of the Bathurst, the annual Bathurst car race thing. It used to be called the Hardy Perodo 1000. Don't know what it's called these days. It's not the same race anyway now. They all drive bloody Ford Mustangs and stuff instead of Falcons and Holdens and stuff, you know. It's very disappointing. And Rossko's family, his wife Sandy and other family members will be there as well. We meet up the top of the mountain on the circuit, Mount Panorama Racing Circuit. We'll probably take the Beamer for a lap around the track for a laugh, you know. I did that with the Harley last time I took it there. Did it on the Triumph. Did it on the old VM as well. So she's got to have a lap, this one. And that one. And I mean, you can't race around it because it's a street circuit and it's a normal public road when it's not being a racetrack. So speed limit 60 k's, and it's obviously strictly enforced because of all the people who show up there for a bit of a lap. Clouds are getting darker again, I see. head's a bit cold. I should have probably put a balaclava on, but you know, first world problems and all that. So yeah, some of the Beamer blokes will be there. Tom and Uli, Gaz, Woz, Dave, Rick, Charlie, not sure who else. And we always have a sip of honey bourbon, which was Rossko's favourite tipple, you know. And we've all got these little brick, you know, from Flying Brick, shot glasses. They're Lego things, and we all drink out of them, those of us who've been, you know, part of it for a while anyway, I suppose. And we just have one nip to celebrate Rossko, and then everyone goes off to lunch at one of the pubs. So this year I won't. I'll probably just go for a ride and have lunch somewhere quiet with the dog, you know. Because the pubs in Bathurst on a Sunday, they're just too crowded, and it's no good for her, you know, stressful and all that. So we'll wander off, go for a ride. I want to go and look through Millthorpe. I haven't been there before, as far as I can remember. I gotta say, I'm not much of a honey bourbon fan. I don't like the aftertaste of most bourbons. Jack Daniels is alright. But I'm not really a whiskey drinker, except for Fireball whiskey with cinnamon. I quite like that. I like it a bit too much, actually. The reason I like it, because it's got that sort of fiery herbal taste that I like from the German Kräuterschnaps types, you know. We've had rain at my place, not lots of rain, but enough rain over a period of weeks to have all my tanks full, which is really nice going into winter. I can only hope I can have them going full going into summer. Started pulling the head off the Harley, but then got stuck with, or distracted by this and working this one to get it ready for this ride. I think we'll bump these up a notch because we're soft. And we are. Got a bloody runny nose this morning. This cool air. Anyway, it's nice to be out on the bike for a bit of a slightly longer ride. A really weird thing happened yesterday. It was really strange actually, because it's been wet, all the yard's wet, and there's a lot of clay around this whole area, you know. And my backyard's got its fair share, you know. Anyway, I thought what I'll do is I'll get the bike out of the shed and park it down under the rear awning veranda thing, you know, and that way I can pack things and stuff and leave it there overnight, and you know, just have a, I can just walk out in the morning and tie my bag to the back and go, sort of thing, you know. And I, you know, pushed it down, turned it around, went back, and the back wheel just sunk into this soil, the clay, like within, you know, a few seconds it was really stuck in the mud, and it wasn't even running. So I started up to try and ride it out of there, and next thing you know, I'm in there axle deep. I couldn't believe it, and it was just fucking muddy clay everywhere, you know. And I ended up having to dig it out. It took me about 2 hours to fucking dig this thing out of the mud, you know. I couldn't believe it. Like, I've walked over that spot 100,000 times. Anyway, as I was digging there, digging down, you know, I had to dig down a couple of feet to get to free the tyre, you know, free the rear rim. You know, got the, luckily I was, you know, at home sort of thing, had the trolley jack, could jack it up once I could get a bit of clearance, you know, because it was that deep. The subframe for the motor was sitting on the ground as well, so I had to dig all that out. And you know, finally was able to get some stuff under there to get some grip to get out of there again. Oh, it was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. It happened once on the Triumph, but that was when I was over at Bundara going down to the river, and I got stuck trying to get out of that. But I was able to dig my way out then because I was carrying a shovel at that point. One of those Aldi shovels, you know, collapsible shovel thingies. So I normally take, if I'm going like on a long trip. It is cold. Now we're getting into orange. Orange, or the outskirts anyway. Now we're going to sneak off down here. Orange is not here, but the old part of Orange, the original town's quite a pretty place. It's the only place in my entire area that has a music shop with guitar stuff, you know, and whatnot. So I have to come all the way over here to get stuff, you know. Well, I don't get strings and stuff, I get them off the internet these days. You know, buy a pack of 10 for 80 bucks instead of 20 bucks per set, you know. Something like that. It was turning, at times at least, into a nice day. you good girl? Yeah, I know. Lots of new housing estates around here, isn't there? They're very attractive. Not. Nice, I can have to turn right, wouldn't you? Traffic lights. Fucking hell, we're in the city. And they're naturally, you know, going to turn red for us. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What do you reckon, chick? You're okay? Yeah, you're okay.